Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Lagavulin Fèis Ìle 2016 18-year-old. Dustin. Lagavulin always comes, these Fèis Ìle bottles usually come in these goofy bags.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're paper bags, sometimes these burlap bags. But
burlap's nicer than the paper bags, at least.
But they're clumsy.
Oh, they're stupid.
Crazy clumsy. But yeah, time for another Lagavulin. As you guys know, my favorite distillery. Again, this is the 18-year-old from 2016. Comes in at 49.5% ABV. And this was for Fèis Ìle 2016 or Lagavulin's 200th anniversary. Dustin, let's talk about the wood type for these Lagavulins because this is really makes a difference with all these special releases. This particular one was aged in refill American oak, as well as refill European oak, and then a final third maturation in bodega sherry butts.
You know you got me when you talk about bodega butts.
Yeah, usually they impart some beautiful things in whiskeys, especially sometimes in these Lagavulins. A lot of seasoning with Lagavulin these days, but this 2016 a little more highly regarded than the 18 from 2018. And I reviewed all three of these as a comparison with the Jazz Fest 2013, but today we're just going to focus on the 200th anniversary 18-year-old. This is bottle 47, as you can see right here on the bottom, if you guys have had a chance to try this whiskey. Now, Dustin, we've kind of gotten into this whiskey, but I've had it open for a couple of years, a little subdued at first, which a lot of Lagavulins are.
Yeah.
But after about a year or so open, thought it hit a nice spot. We've been testing it every now and again.
Yeah, today's review is really, in a lot of ways, for us, it's really Mike's final stand to decide if he needs to buy another one.
Exactly. So we've been dancing around with a little bit. Let's figure out how good this whiskey is, my friend.
So, Mike, we talked about this off camera earlier. This is a chameleon. It just keeps unwinding, unraveling, and changing on the nose, but right out of the bottle,
Big old python.
it is a giant, massive, sweet sherry bomb.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet initially. But to me, that quickly transitions into three things. Lemon, oil, obviously with campfire smoke on the whole thing, and just a twinge of like wet or something damp, like almost like damp moss or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I get like throughout the process, I mean, all of the notes you're making, but I get like a little bit of soap comes in here and there, it goes away, a little bit of sour cask comes in and out. And these are not bad things in this because it's just so complicated, but it just constantly changes. It goes from like coal smoke to barbecue smoke to...
You're right. You're getting campfire, then charcoal, then maybe you're at a barbecue. It's a meaty smoke, but then it kind of goes away and gets cool. A little bit of that mint comes in, which almost kind of transitions it right into that charcoal note.
Yeah, I'm getting like mint and a little bit of like designer soap, like you'd pick up in like some kind of fancy store.
Very fresh. It's a very fresh smell for a Lagavulin, or really any whiskey. It's like zesty lemon freshness.
Yeah, and then it goes into smoked lemon. I mean, it is constantly changing.
Maybe almost like some swordfish too. Man, it's so the smoke is so meaty. That's why you think brisket, but it's a little bit different smoke than I'm usually expecting from a Lagavulin, even from a cast strength one.
Now, and you mentioned you got peach earlier, and I mean, I get maybe a bit of like a burnt barbecue peach, but I don't get like fresh peach at all. I get lemon for sure.
I get fresh lemon. The peach note on this one, yeah, it was more of a grilled peach, I would say.
Yeah, or underripe maybe, or overripe, sorry.
And then, the sweetness is still a backbone of this whiskey, but now more yellow fruits are coming in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Maybe a little banana.
Yeah, and there's some grasses, and there's some seaweed, and moss, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, something damp. But then I tell you what, now it's transitioned into vanilla. That vanilla's coming out. That vanilla with that grilled peach note kind of is there once a few things have taken a step back.
A little bit of an artificial vanilla, but yeah, it's there. Actually, I think it's vanilla, and then I think it's a little bit of that American oak.
How much vanilla bean now? Great sweetness on this.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of spice that maybe is that European oak now coming through.
We weren't big fans of the 18-year-old from 2018.
No, that one was kind of just lacking.
Yeah, it was real vegetable, you know what I mean? It was some things that we really liked. This is a much different experience.
No, I mean, this is absolutely beautiful whiskey. I mean, and every time Diageo, anybody in Diageo uses these bodega casks, they always come out well. The negative is they're usually high-priced bottles, and they never use just bodega. It's never first fill. It's always like a reused. I have no idea what the first fills are being used for.
Who knows?
I need to find out, but
Or maybe they've used it in something else. You know what I mean?
but they didn't
just got
announce
back
it
to
like
this.
that, or maybe I don't know. Maybe those $5,000 bottles we don't buy are that's where they're going.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I tell you what, you do smell that punchy old sherry note, that almost dusty sherry note that you get from those bodega casks. It's back there. It's not the first or even the 10th thing you pick up, but it's there.
Bodegas, I usually get this sort of bubblegum-esque sweetness. That's much more candied sweetness than I get on like today's traditional sherry casks. And it's not PX puncheons either. It's like it's a sweetness that I liken to a bubblegum. I'm not saying it's like double bubble or something, but
It's definitely not PX. It's definitely not as sticky. Definitely not as artificial smelling.
no, but it's got this clean, easy, very approachable sweetness that I really appreciate.
Buddy, it's there in this one.
Oh man, this is just. And now I am starting to pick up. What's funny is I don't pick up the alcohol initially. Usually over time it goes away. Here I'm actually starting to pick up the alcohol a little bit. What was the ABV?
49.5. I mean, it was below. This is one of the 49.5. This is one of the lower ABVs of a especially Lagavulin. Usually these things are in the 50s.
Yeah, I'm just getting a little hint of alcohol now on the nose. Not unpleasant. Just honestly, at first I just didn't realize it was almost like there's alcohol in here.
Yeah. All right, I'm going in.
Yep, go for it, man. Yeah, I mean just. So much smoke. I mean, right now it's all barbecue, just right out of the smoker. Very nice smoke dominating right now. With a lot of vanilla. I'm telling you guys, we could keep nosing this thing for 20 minutes.
Great nose, man. That's a 90 plus nose. Lemon, grassy, obviously big smoke, campfire smoke. Man, tingles on the side with the lemon and the fruits. Very acidic fruits. Lemon, maybe a little bit of pineapple. Transition kind of into fall grass. Still like a damp note to it. I would call it damp moss, but it's a little more flavorful than that. It's almost a little more minerals are in it than that. But man, the whole thing is that beautiful lemon, oily, beautiful lemon, and that lemon is candied.
Yeah.
What are you picking up?
So I took a bigger drink than I usually would of this one, just to kind of really have it take over and really overpower me.
Get into it, buddy. What do you got?
And I mean, there is a amazing sherry sweetness here up front. It's clean. It's not these like oaky, oak-driven casks. It's very much nice, sweet, fresh sherry, just loveliness. Then it gets really spicy.
Yeah, there is some spice to this.
It gets really spicy. I mean, like rye spice levels, where you're getting like just big, bold Lagavulin malt. The peat, the smoke, the fire, and then like you were saying, you transitions and you've got that earthy meets sweet meets oak. Beautiful whiskey, 3 distinct profiles, where you
Points,
they got the sweetness up front, and it transitions to that middle of like just smoke and fire and spice and bite, and then back to this really clean, pleasant, soapy, mossy kind of finish that. I don't know that the finish is my favorite thing about this whiskey, but that's just more a subjective, that may not be my personal preference on the finish, but it's a beautiful, masterful Lagavulin.
You know what? I tell you what, you picked up more sweetness initially than I did because it was just so aggressive on the palate. And when you talked about the alcohol note earlier, at 49.5, I don't think necessarily, this is going to be big alcohol.
Yeah.
Especially from this distillery. But you're right, initially it was a wallop to take.
Yeah, I mean, the mid palate's where I got the alcohol and the spice and bite. And I think, I took a bigger pour than I usually do to really kind of chase it out, because I didn't get that earlier. Because, we've had this twice before, I think, at least, maybe 3 times.
A couple times, yeah.
And before I never got that, but I always, was much more taking it in real slow, trying to tease out little things. I wanted to get more of what's the full experience? And that's
what makes this different from other Lagavulins.
Yeah, and that's really kind of the point of why we review some of these is what's different.
What's different about them?
Because otherwise, they're
point?
Priced goofy.
You really don't know what the best one is.
Yeah, no, you go online and this one's $250, this one's $1,700.
It's all over the place. Because really, we've had better distillery team exclusive than we've had, say, Jazz Fest bottles, or even not only Jazz, but some of the facials that were.
Yeah, I think the last one we reviewed was the 21-year-old from 2019. That's not as good as some of the NAS ones we've had.
Yeah, the distillery team exclusive from 2017, that was a better whiskey.
Yeah, if that's the one I'm thinking of, 100%. It was just, this is beautiful.
Yep.
That 21 was good.
Good, exactly. So it's all over the place. All right, so getting back to this, we had some drops of water in this. This definitely became sweeter on the nose.
You know what I'm getting now, Mike, that we talked about earlier?
You obviously just getting candy vanilla.
What jumps out at me is the nuttiness came out that we talked about earlier.
Oh, you're right. There was.
And now I'm getting that like oil on a pan when you're like a cooking pan. Maybe I don't know if it's a peanut oil, a cannoli or whatever,
something like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's that cooking pan.
It is so oily.
And you know what? It's not vanilla for me, Mike. It's French vanilla.
Okay.
You know that like
Sure.
where it's got that little bit of like I don't know what the difference is exactly.
Whip
like
to it.
Well, not just whip, but like there's a darkness to French vanilla versus like your traditional. It's less candy. It's more.
Man, it's shocking how sweet this smells. From just having a subtle.
Well, French vanilla is more is vanilla beans versus vanilla candy.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is I got the bean notes here.
Sure, I get that. I think initially when it said vanilla note, I said almost bordering on vanilla bean.
Yeah, and I'm getting a little bit of like roast, like you might be talking about. You did actually say vanilla beans earlier, right? I'm getting a little bit of roasted note here,
like roast coffee, roast peanuts actually probably more.
Both.
More likely, yeah.
Honestly, both. I mean, there's coffee, there's peanuts, it's all roasted.
I never even talk about the umami note that's still there too.
Oh yeah. There's like it's like a mushroom kind of a.
This is a rare Lagavulin where I get two distinct styles of smoke. I get the campfire smoke, which usually is what I get with Lagavulin, but like that coal soot smoke, I usually get one or the other.
Yeah.
And usually with the over-sherried Lagavulins that have some age to them, 18, 21 years old, I get that liquid coal soot sort of flavor to it. But this one goes back and forth between both. This is a good example of you do a multiple cask maturation, in this case 3 different casks. If you do it right, like in the 24 from 1991, man, you can knock that thing out of the park.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, this reminds me of like the older Glendronach distillate that has that coal note in it.
Yes, that coal soot.
Yeah, if you gave me this and you said, hey, Glendronach did peated back in the day, which I don't know if they did. I know they do today. But you told me, hey, you know what, Glendronach used to do peated. What do you think of this peated Glendronach? I think I'd question you on the cask because this doesn't come off as a Glendronach cask. But that coal note would be enough for me to be like, all right, they must have done some crazy stuff back in the day I didn't know about.
Yeah, very sooty note on this.
But it's so clean at the end. That's what really keeps blowing me away. It's just so clean at that finish.
Yeah, clean ash smoke and campfire, which
that
doesn't go together.
As far as water, all it really did is it sped up the process here. I'm getting all these same notes that we had earlier when we had it neat. It just took 45 minutes. I think we sat with this thing for almost an hour earlier. And it's done that exact same thing that we got from just time. So there's no need to add water to this one to get to what we're talking about right now. You'll get there if you just give it time.
Yeah, give it 30 minutes in the glass. Lagavulin, more than most distilleries, almost all, really needs time in the glass. Even if they are, been open for a while, even have a medium pour level, you need to give them time. So anyway, with water, same thing. I mean, getting a little more sweetness initially with water up front, like the sweetness stays there a little bit longer, but man, that is just a big lemon, zesty, clean, fresh lemon, followed by ash and smoke and coal.
Yeah, it's moved the transitions around a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't get
sweeter.
I don't get as distinct a middle now. I get
all kind of melted.
Sweet up front, and then I get the spice, the bite, the burn in the finish with the oak. The only thing I notice here that's a little different, I am picking up more of those like American oak casks, which I don't think are great casks. Well, the vanilla, yeah, but the oak presence here is not as clean as it was without the water, and that happens to me a lot. Water sometimes brings out oak notes I don't like. So for me, I would definitely say water, not this one's friend, especially at 49.5, where I don't think it's needed.
Doesn't need it.
Yeah. Now, that said, it doesn't hurt it too much either. I mean, I think it's just fine with water, but...
Again, like most times, we would prefer it neat.
Yeah. But this one, again, I think I get a couple notes I don't like as much with the water. And again, I think time and glass does the same thing water did for the nose.
Very interesting, well done whiskey, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm going to say, I'll get back to it. It actually holds the water well. It didn't get watery at all.
It's still...
Yeah, it's still oily, still rich, still bold.
You're just talking strictly from flavor.
I'm just getting a few flavors I don't prefer now.
I agree.
Yeah.
But again, that's usually the case.
Yep.
Again, this isn't 58%.
No, yeah, it's definitely not.
All right, so very good, very enjoyable Lagavulin. Where are you at as far as the whiskey score on this one?
The nose has a level of complexity that is getting it into the 90s. But I think the palate is coming just short of that for me, Mike. I'm going to go 89, but... You could probably twist my arm and I'd go 90. I'm so close to 90 on
Yeah,
this.
I'm exactly the same place you were. I was thinking at least an 89 before. Like, but you know what? Really, a 90, You know, it smells incredible.
Yeah.
You're right. This is a 91 smell, 91, 92 smell.
Yeah.
The palate isn't as good as the nose. Okay, that's a lot of times.
That's a hell of a standard. At this.
Right. Yeah. So my thought is, if you know the nose is a 91 and the palate's an 88 or an 89, it's probably about 90 for me.
Yeah. So you're at 90.
I'm at 90.
Yeah.
A very good, solid, not super incredible Lagavulin, but if you got this whiskey and you're a Lagavulin fan, you're not going to be disappointed with this.
Yeah.
This
So-
is a solid specialty Lagavulin.
So you're at a 90, which means you are buying another bottle if you find one at a price you think is in the ballpark.
Yeah, so I think I paid $350. Let's see, like $350, $400, $375, something like this. I would pay that again.
Yeah, $450. To me, 90 probably that's where the 450 is getting right around. The 90 is what you're looking
The
to
thing
pay.
is, you get a lot of nice whiskeys for $450.
Oh my God, yes.
It's just better than Lafroy 25.
No, but
close.
I'm drinking these on 2 different days. Like there's a day I want that.
My point is that price point's about right.
Yeah. No,
About
it's
right.
yeah. This drinks like
$350, $400 whiskey.
Yep, all day.
This is in my opinion. Yeah, so me and Dustin are pretty impressed with this one. Again, this is the 18-year-old from
Nuttiness.
that peanut shell.
Yeah.
It's like roasted peanuts, like being around the tumbler. You know, you said that initially, and I was like, oh yeah, that's there too. But there's a lot going on in this whiskey. I mean, this wasn't a simple whiskey that only had 4
No.
things. Yeah, this was one of the better ones. Greatly improved from when I first opened this bottle.
Oh man, there's just straight candy vanilla now. Jeez.
I told you that candy vanilla is there.
I'm telling you guys, this is one of the most rewarding whiskeys as far as just going back and getting new depth, especially at 18 years. That's impressive.
I tell you what, Lagavulin, that right around that 21-year-old range, they do some damage with some great bottles in that age. We'll do the 18-year-old from the Jazz Fest 2013. I think you'll be even more impressed with that bottle. We'll get to that soon. Dustin's at 89, I'm 100, I'm at a 90. You know, I'm a big Lagavulin fan, so we're probably speaking the exact same language. Let us know what you guys think if you've had a chance to try this 2016 version of Lagavulin 18. One of only 3 18-year-olds I know of.
There you go.
And until next time,
Happy drinking.
we'll see you next time.